Hey, what's good, y'all? Welcome to the Campfire Convos. Good to see everyone's beautiful, smiling faces around the campfire. I'm glad we're getting the chance to connect again. I know it's been a while, probably since before Thanksgiving, right? So, good to see y'all again. Hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. I had a pretty good Thanksgiving, very low key, chill. Didn't do too much. I really wanted to make some rabbit this year. I know some people are kind of like eked out by that, but I had rabbit one time. My father-in-law made rabbit for a Thanksgiving holiday, and man, when I tell you, it was better than chicken. I'm a very picky eater, and so I almost didn't want to try it, but it looked kind of like chicken, and so I was like, okay, let me give it a shot. I'm just gonna take a tiny bite, and it blew me out of the water, man. Rabbit is so good. So this year, I was talking to my wife about adding an entree to our normal bag. You know what I mean? Like our normal menu that we have for Thanksgiving, and adding one new dessert as well. So I usually make peach cobbler every year, and so this year I was supposed to add apple pie as my dessert. I was gonna add, and then I was gonna add rabbit as the entree. I know it's non-traditional, but it's just super good. Rabbit with some rice and gravy. Sheesh. Okay, so needless to say, I didn't get it done. I never realized how tough it is to find rabbit. I don't know how. My father-in-law lives in Chicago, and he's got some spots that he's been frequenting for years, and so he was able to find rabbit because he just knows where to go. I didn't know where to go, and I was looking in regular stores and couldn't find anything, and I waited till too late. So he told me sometimes Walmart has it, sometimes Aldi has it. I went to both places, I couldn't find it. Of course, regular grocery stores don't have it. I went to Vons, I went to other places. And then, like the day before Thanksgiving, I found that there's like a meat market place that may have it, but at that point, it was too late. Just mentally, I had lost my drive and motivation to do it, and so I'm gonna try to do it on Christmas or somewhere around Christmas. My kids are like, no, we don't want it, but I think once they taste it, then they'll have the similar reaction to what I had. It's really good, but yeah. So that was Thanksgiving, and now we are preparing for Christmas. I love Christmas. I always have. I'm a big Home Alone fan. I love Home Alone 1. I love Home Alone 2. I think they might have made a Home Alone 3, but I don't know anything about that one. I don't think it was that good. But Home Alone 1 and 2, maybe dating myself, but those movies are classics in my opinion. And so I love getting together with family and watching Home Alone 1 and 2, and other movies or whatever, and just like relaxing, and I don't know, don't do too much. But we finally set up our tree yesterday, so that was pretty cool. Like, we had a nice little bonding moment. It's different this year because my oldest daughter is away at college now, and so it was weird only having two kids here. You know what I mean? Like, of course, my dog. Two kids and a dog. It's kind of like I felt like we're missing somebody. So it'll be nice to have my daughter back home for the holidays. But yeah, we set up our Christmas tree. We set up all the little stockings on the fireplace, like the whole traditional setup. Put the wreath on the door. And we played Twister as a family. Well, it was like boys. Me and my son played Twister versus each other, and then the two girls played Twister, my wife and my daughter. And so that was fun, and just played some Christmas music. I don't know why yesterday of all days was the day that we just decided to jump full throttle, like full head first into the Christmas spirit, but for some reason that was just the day. So maybe it was something about unpacking the tree, you know what I mean, and just bringing it up and setting it up to get everybody in the Christmas spirit. But yeah, we were having a good old time just listening to Christmas carols and playing Twister and having the lights on and watching my dog run around. We kept putting little Christmas costumes on him to take funny pictures, and he does not like wearing anything on his body or his head or anything, so he was fighting it, and it was pretty cool. But yeah, I feel good. I got a chance to go out yesterday and untether, and I had um, an amazing meditation. Just I'm at the point now where I'm really leaning into the fact that every day is its own existence. You know what I mean? Like when I wake up in the morning, I treat it like that day is a whole life in and of itself. What type of life do I want to have today? What type of existence do I want to have? And, just being grateful for being alive. I started practicing. I don't know if I told you guys about it on the last podcast, but I started practicing daily reincarnation, which is something that I came up with. Somebody else may already have come up with it, but I haven't heard it from anyone else. But it's a concept that maybe instead of thinking about reincarnation as something that happens after death, thinking of it as something that happens every day, where instead of being reincarnated into a new body, we're reincarnated into a new life, and that our old life from yesterday is gone and done. So metaphorically, when we sleep, we die, or and then in the morning we're reborn. And what strikes me about this concept, or what I love about this concept, is that people always say, if I could go back knowing what I know, what I would do differently. And honestly speaking, this gives you the opportunity every day to restart, so you can go back knowing what you know. You know what I mean? You can go back and live a life that includes all of the wisdom that you've gained down through your years of being on this planet. Everything you've learned, your lessons, because there's no failures in life, there's only lessons. So everything that we've learned, all the information that you've gained, all the wisdom that you've gained, you carry that with you. And so each day is an opportunity to really be your best self, to be better than you were yesterday, because even the lessons that you learned yesterday are now part of your repertoire. They're part of the bag that you can pull from when faced with whatever you're going to be faced with that day. And at the heart of daily reincarnation for me is also just gratefulness. I saw a video online where a guy was asking someone, if he gave him $1 million right now, how would he feel? He said, I'd feel great. He said, would anybody be able to get you in a bad mood for a while? And he said, no, because I have $1 million and I know what to do with it. And he said, what if I gave you $10 million right now, but I told you that you won't wake up tomorrow if I give you this 10 million? Are you going to take it? And he said no. So then his question was, so if I'm offering you 10 million, but the caveat is that you won't wake up tomorrow, and you're saying I don't want to take that, what you're telling me is that waking up tomorrow is more valuable than $10 million. And he said, yeah. And he said, then how come when you wake up in the morning, you don't act like it? You should be more happy, just as happy as you said you would be. You know what I mean? If it's more valuable than 10 million just to wake up in the morning, then you should wake up in the morning the happiest that you know what I mean? Just the happiest person alive. Like, you're happy to wake up. You've got something that's so valuable, that's more valuable than $10 million every single time you wake up. And I kind of thought about that, and it made a lot of sense. And I love cliches, and so I'm kind of cheesy that way. And I started thinking about that, like, every day you wake up is like a blessing. I mean, people say it all the time, but to really think about it is like, I get a chance to wake up today. Like, that is incredible. That's amazing. I have the gift of life. I have the gift of being able to have my faculties, and I can do whatever I want with my life today. And it's just the privilege, you know, the mindset is understanding how much of a privilege it is and how valuable it is, just life itself. And then things don't matter so much as anymore, like the things that try to get you down throughout the day, the things that try to get you off focus, the things that try to get you distracted, or that try to bring down your mood. It's like the more we learn to value life itself, you feel me, then it's like the more we can, have a higher quality of life, because our life quality is not based on anything else except for internal, our internal drive, our internal perspective. And so, like always, I'm always preaching the internal shift in perspective has to happen. And I'm always looking for new ways to continue to shift my internal perspective, my internal dialogue, whatever drives me. I feel like there's a positive way to look at everything. I always say that there's a positive spin you can put on anything, but this is not just a spin. This is like your mind will tell you, logically, that life is more important than $1 billion. But if you get $1 billion, you will be more happy than you would be just from waking up in the morning. You might wake up mad. You might wake up, they say, on the wrong side of the bed, or sad or depressed. It's like, no, you have a gift. You just got a gift as soon as you woke up. The gift of life, the gift of being here another day. And so it's like, I'm trying to live every day to the fullest. I don't want to waste any time, and that's another thing I kind of want to talk about, like with the new year. I made a post the other day. If you follow my TikTok page, you probably saw it. It talks about how my favorite holiday is New Year's. And I just love the reset button. I love a fresh start. I love any excuse to, set new goals, or whatever the case may be. If they call them resolutions, I'm taking it, because I'm very goal driven as a person. I'm a very ambitious person. And also, I've fallen in love with the idea that you can be whatever you dream. You know what I mean? You can accomplish whatever you dream. And I don't just mean, it's just not a cliche to me. It's also real life. Like, I literally believe that if your mind can think of it, it's feasible, And so I'm the type of person that is just crazy enough to believe that whatever I dream is going to happen. And I've been blessed so far that I've been able to accomplish all of my dreams. This is, in my opinion, because of the mindset that those dreams were accomplishable, number one, and that I believed in them so thoroughly, so fiercely, that I wouldn't take no for an answer. That I also, not just too stubborn to let it go, but also carrying so much positive energy with me, and so much strong belief that the dreams are going to happen, that I was looking for them to happen. And that's one of the keys, for the law of attraction. It's like, you have to believe in your dreams so, you have to be so convinced, I'll say, that your dreams are going to happen, that it becomes subconscious. The fact that the things that you're looking for when you're out and about, you're looking for something to happen that day that is going to be a confirmation bias to you that you're on the right track. It's like when you believe something wholeheartedly, science will tell you that confirmation bias and self-fulfilling prophecy is a part of the human experience. You can believe something so much that you kind of almost will it to be, because you're looking for it so often that any little thing that looks like it's confirming what you believe is going to happen, you take that and you hold it near and dear to your heart. And any evidence to the contrary, you literally blatantly completely ignore it. And this is the danger of having narratives in our heads that we get attached to, that we are not capable of things, or that we're not going to accomplish things. You know what I mean? Because that little seed of doubt is so life-threatening, but when you flip it on its head, when you believe something wholeheartedly, that is the beauty in the narrative. The narrative that I will accomplish this goal, or I am built for this. I will be successful in XYZ. When you truly believe that, it's not even about being cocky or, just confident in your own skills. It's really like a part of it is being convinced of your own worthiness. I read a book last year called Worthy by Jamie Lee Kern, I believe her name was. I gotta fact check that, but I know I think it's Jamie Kern. Anyway, if you haven't read the book Worthy, it's definitely worthy of your time, your energy. You know what I mean? This book is so life changing. Almost single-handedly shifted the way that I thought about my own self-worth. And I battled with low self-esteem for a lot of my life. I battled with anxiety. I battled with insecurities, of course. A lot of us have, but I used to mask my low self-esteem and insecurities with basically just being cocky. You know what I mean? Like, I was, for a long time, a lot of people didn't really know what to think of me because I always held my head high. I walk into a room with confidence. I'm not afraid of anything, but the self-doubt, in those alone moments, would eat away at me. And the imposter syndrome, even though I was naturally gifted and had God-given talents, to do music and stuff like that, that imposter syndrome, a lot of people know about it. It's very real. And when it gets a hold of you, sometimes it's hard to, it's hard to get unraveled out of that mindset. And so I have been doing the work for the past 3 or 4 years, ever since we moved here, moved back to LA. I've been doing a lot of deep work, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, just trying to become my best self, become my highest self, to put the past behind me and, be my most authentic self. And this book was a welcome addition to other books that I had been reading. But this book specifically, Worthy, when you read it, and I think it's mostly geared towards women, to be honest, but I was on tour and we got the call to do Good Morning America. And so when I was on the show, Good Morning America, I played the piano. And after I came off stage, before I went on stage, I was in the hair and makeup room. And Jamie Lee Kern was actually a guest on Good Morning America. And she was the guest prior to us. And when she came off stage, she handed me a copy of her book. She literally walked into the hair and makeup room. I was sitting in the chair, and out of the blue, she just handed me her book, put it right in my hands. And no questions asked. I didn't even know who she was at the time. Anyway, I know that was a sign from the universe that this book was meant for me. And when I read that book, the power of that book, that just shifted the whole mindset I had. When you accept your own worthiness, it literally does shift the ground, the tectonic plates that everything is built on. Because when you don't feel like you're worthy of the dream, when you don't feel like you're worthy of love, when you don't feel like you're worthy of being able to set your own boundaries, or worthy of having the life that you desire, then you're not going to go after it. As a matter of fact, you might go in the opposite direction and start falling into depression and anxiety or people pleasing habits. And sometimes we can get stuck in that rut where we make everyone more important than us. You know what I mean? We admire people and we look up to them. You know what I mean? We respect their opinions and we respect their advice. And we love their outfit and we love the way that they talk. And it's like we're always pointing out how all these people are better than us, but to ourselves, behind closed doors, we're not talking kind to ourselves. We're not we're not comfortable we're not comfortable with giving ourselves our own flowers and our own recognition, and saying whenever someone might show admiration of you, you downplay it. And it's like, nah, that, you don't want to take compliments. You don't even want to give yourself compliments. I heard a girl on Instagram or TikTok, one of the two, the other day, was saying how when she was going through her healing journey, she had started going to therapy, and her therapist was telling her that she needs to look in the mirror each day and tell yourself that I love you. And she didn't think it was going to be that hard to do, but the next day she went, looked herself in the mirror, and she thought it was going to be easy, but when she looked herself in the mirror, nothing came out. She wanted to tell herself I love you, and no words would come out. And she said that's when she realized, oh, she's got some work to do, And to me, that was just heavy, you know what I mean? It was deep, because how often do we tell ourselves that I love you? How often, do we look ourselves in the mirror, whether it's a literal mirror or whether it's metaphorical, the proverbial mirror, and say, I love you? Do you love yourself? And what if so, it's easy to say, I love myself, but do your actions show that you love yourself? And how do you love yourself? Are you loving yourself enough to make people respect your boundaries? Are you loving yourself enough to prioritize your own happiness and your peace? Are you loving yourself enough? And so if you don't love yourself, chances are it's because you don't believe yourself worthy of happiness. You don't believe yourself worthy of love. You don't believe yourself worthy of the dreams. And this is a lot of this is subconscious. Sometimes we don't even realize. And I don't know, that unworthiness may stem from childhood traumas. It may stem from, a sense of abandonment. Someone didn't show us when we were young that we were worthy of them sticking around, or them being there for us when we needed them, or whatever the case may be. But we get these subconscious narratives going, and sometimes you just need something to shine some light on it so that you can figure out how to break out of it. And so that book did it for me. I'm so glad that I was able to read that book and, again, change my life. And so, I just heard my family just came home, so I'm gonna have to jump off maybe a little early. Sorry, this one's gonna be a little short, but I'm glad to get another one of these episodes in. And so I'm sorry for the unceremonious way I'm having to end this, but again, my family's here and we're about to eat burritos. Random. So love y'all. We will catch you guys on the next episode. And welcome back to Campfire Convos. All right, later.